All right. So good evening, everyone. Tonight it will be myself and the Nolans. Let us know what questions we can answer for you all. Amy and Will and Alexon are all, Platinum's in the sea. They've been all around for a long time. How many years has it been now? Amy?
What, 11? Mom's muted.
11, yeah.
11 years. Okay. So they're a wealth of knowledge as well. And I will do my best to answer questions that you have as well. But let us know if you have any questions that you have, and we can go from there. I don't know how Mom has structured it before. I haven't been able to get on the calls, but
Usually people will type their questions in the chat as they go along and/or can raise their hand to ask. Usually a combination of both. Sometimes people are shy at the beginning.
okay.
And they can ask any questions, whether it's back office, it's business, it's product, it's when they approach people, their challenges, whatever.
Absolutely. Does anybody have any questions about even the simple things of inviting, following up, what to say to people, back office stuff, the compensation plan? Okay, so we have one question. I'm going to do my taxes soon. How do you write off our monthly subscription? So me personally, I have a business credit card and then I have a personal credit card. So everything business goes on that credit card. And then I personally use QuickBooks. It's a self-employed QuickBooks app, and it's a computer desktop version where you can literally see all of your transactions from that business credit card, because you can link that card up to QuickBooks. And then when you give that information to your accountant, it's all there for them, because you can actually link your accountant to your account. So that's what I do. It's very easy for me. I don't know if Amy or Alexon, you have any other suggestions as well?
The questions is, how do you write off a monthly subscription? That will be under business expense.
It's a business expense, and it's under like materials, but again, if you need help with that, your accountant will certainly go over the
Will
different.
you do TurboTax? What do you list it as the subscription?
Our monthly subscription is actually part of our qualifications so that we can be paid, right? We need 100 points of volume monthly to be active so that we qualify for compensation. So we can count it as a business fee. I reported on my Schedule C.
Yeah, I think I've used the term business fee, but let me check back, because Paul was
Paul
using
Hoffman.
a specific term the other day. Give me a moment, I'll come up with it. Because I liked it because it was when you're reporting your taxes as a business taxes, you're filing your Schedule C, and that'll give you various categories. They sometimes change a little bit from year to year. If you're using TurboTax or some software like that, then you go with whatever category is best fit. Give me just a moment, I'll come back with that and put it in the chat.
Jennifer, do you do your own taxes? No.
No, I pay somebody.
Okay, so you can tell them that this is part of your business license, because you are required to have that subscription to be paid.
I have been here for a while, sorry, and I've never known that we could write it off.
Yeah, if it's different, if it's a payment that you need in order to get you get paid or by a CS. So it's if you become an executive, if you become a bronze or above, then you can take off 200 PV per month. If you're not an executive yet, then it's just 100 PV.
What category did you list it as?
Give me a second.
Paul reported his subscription as other expenses. Purchases required to earn commissions.
Yeah, that should, yes. purchases required to earn commissions. That's the term you used, right?
Mhm. Yep. So as he was just saying, if you're not a bronze executive or above yet, you only need 100 PV per month. So you can write off up to 100 PV. I mean, if you're buying 500 points worth of product each month, that's the rest of it's for your personal use, but at least 100 points of that is for qualifying for your business. If you're bronze and up, then to qualify bronze and up, then you need 200 PV per month. So that's eligible.
Next question
Absolutely.
from Karen Jensen.
Okay, so just got home from dinner with hubby. He said, I'll never make money with ASEA because I don't know enough people and no one is training me on how to reach people I don't know. Plus the few people I know are not interested. What now? Well, there's several outlets to reach new people. My take is the reduct, yeah. So, I mean, I didn't know anybody when I moved to Colorado. This is my own personal experience. So I joined networking groups, and that's how ultimately I built my business. I joined networking groups. They were super helpful in many different ways, but that's a way to connect with like-minded people. They're all entrepreneurs, and they're all there, yes, to grow their own business, but then also to help you grow yours. So I would definitely look at groups that you can join, Chamber of Commerce's. There's Meetup out there, several different, groups. If you belong to a church or any type of groups that, you have something in common with, that's the people that you want to connect most with. And then I can continue, but Alex and Amy, Will, any other comments that you want to say before I continue?
Yeah, I think a lot of times the approach is like the answers, questions are the answers. You want to build rapport wherever you are. Unless you can find the problem, you don't offer. You offer solutions to their problem. So your goal in connecting with people is to find out more about them and find out what is their hot button, where is their pain point, and then help them clarify that that is the issue they want a solution to. And then once you identify the issue, then you offer them the redox or the opportunity. But what we do is we assume that somebody has an issue and we start offering this, and that becomes a problem because they are not ready for it, and then you feel rejected. So that takes some practice, and ASEA United has a lot of guidance on that. In fact, the Tuesday mastermind training, there's a lot of tips on how to go about it, how to tell your story, how to get the opening before you tell your story so that you are not throwing out on people. So a lot of people, once they sign the dotted line, they start going out to tell people. In anything, you need some training. So even in communication, you need that ability to find out their body language. What are they saying? What is the issue we are trying to solve? Unless you can identify the issue, you don't start telling them, I've got something to help you. They did not ask for help yet. We just assume. So that's where the practice comes in. Does that answer your question, Karen?
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that helps. Thank you.
Absolutely. But there's
Well, Alan Noble's new site would be helpful to her too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the training is all there and it takes you step by step.
absolutely.
Is Genie Go still being used and worth the expense?
No, so don't bother. I don't know what the status is with our app. I know it continues to be improved, but
Yeah, the thing is Genie Go does not have access to our ASEA back office anymore. So a lot of the information we are getting previously from Genie Go, we are not able to get from that. So that is not as useful.
They just put out the notice that the basic Genie Go, the free version, is going to remain available and free to use. So if you use it for those materials, that's fine. But they're right. The tapping into our back office, those kind of detailed reports and things, and the text messages, none of that will be available anymore.
Marilyn, is your question answered? What do those weeks mean in the Ascent qualification requirements? What do those weeks mean? What do you mean? You mean at the bottom? The minimum PGV3?
Let me just butt in for this.
Yes.
I think we have a question about the enrollment week.
Yes.
And then the maximum PGB3, what do you call that? Maximum PGB3 basis.
Yes.
What does this enrollment week means? Because from September to March is only 26 weeks, but we have this designated 33 to 36 and 30 to 33. It's way past 26 weeks. So I don't understand. And the way I understood before is that when you come in at that time, that your PGB3 basis would come down. Like if you just come in at 33 to 36 weeks, and I was thinking that would be the last 3 weeks before the qualification dates are over, that your qualifications is only 3,000 points. But I don't think that would be the case, or is it?
Jackie, do you have any insight in that? If not, I will volunteer.
Go ahead.
I think the one at the bottom, I was figuring that out. What happened is if somebody comes in and they are very active just before the Ascent qualification, there is 18,000. That means they will not have more than 18,000 as their basis if they come in before the Ascent qualification. So if you work backwards, the qualification starts on week 37. So anybody who comes in before week 37, they calculate accordingly. I can go through with you on that. But the other thing about people coming in later after the Ascent start, because it's like 597 points per week additional, because 15,000 divided by 26 weeks. So if they come in a week later or a month later, that means they lose out on 4 weeks. That's something we need to discuss with corporate and find out whether they do have that allowance or not.
Yeah.
They're offering 15,000, right?
Yeah, and they're not clear. I called them because remember I had one enrollee that was just got enrolled, but she still has 15,000 as qualification. So it's obviously less than the week of enrollment is really not the basis. And I don't know where the week of enrollments, when I counted it, just 26 weeks. Where are they getting all this 33, 36 and all these kinds of things? So
that is the one before. That means if somebody comes in and they sponsor a lot, that means their volume goes very high. They don't start with that high volume. They just give them the maximum volume. Anyway, I can go over with you afterwards, that person, and then we'll this thing.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Amy, I think we would all agree it's a little bit confusing. And my advice would be simply to download the brochure or the flyer and then look at what the virtual office is showing as the amount of points that you need, or the.
I know what he's referring to. It is confusing. I went through that at night too.
Great, but that's what we have to actually work on, is what they report as the amount of points that we still need to to earn, and then you just have to calculate yourself how many weeks are left through that
So
margin.
he's referring to somebody who comes in just last month.
Sure.
So
sure.
they are still considered as 15,000.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Mm.
Debbie is here.
I'm at bank.
Okay, Debbie, you are right in time. That's a
Wait.
question about PGV3. Those people who come in just a month ago, that means they lose out the last two. You know, they don't have 26 weeks, but they are still expected to have the 15,000 basis.
No. They base it on when you come in and stuff.
But that's not what
Unless
shown in the back
unless
office.
the widget is wrong.
Yep.
All
So
right, well,
Debbie-
if the widget's wrong, then I will check on it. So I will tomorrow when they open.
Okay, Dr. Ed, there you are.
Yeah, because I checked with them and nobody knows in the CS report. And the last
no.
one that told me is that, oh, don't mind about that. That was last year's qualification. I said, no, you just posted that now. And so none of them knows what, because if you count it from September to March, it's 26 weeks. And week of enrollment has 33, 36.
Yeah.
30, 33. And so it's way beyond what, and so
No,
I'm
some
not
came in
understanding.
at December and some came in just January and they still have 15,000 basis. So yeah, just bring it up with Debbie. That's the
Okay.
question for the diamond support.
Yeah, because if that's the case, that you only need this much point at the end of the qualifications, then it's a good strategy though to make everybody come in. If your qualifications is only 3,000, because you start with 0, you were never enrolled before, and you come in and then your qualification is just 3,000. It's easy to get for those guys who just wants to travel. It's a free travel thing.
That's just 30 cases.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, but I don't know. I was thinking ahead what I could do with it, but doesn't seem to be right what I was thinking, so.
Okay,
I think that is a question for diamond support.
yeah. So Jennifer's asking, she's going to a networking party tomorrow. You only get 30 seconds to talk. What strategy would you use? I do not have small samples. Would you have a sign up list for a free sample? I'll share. I would say something very simple. I mean, I even use what Debbie told me to say the other day. She said, how would you all like for your cells to stay young and healthy? So that perks people up. And that's clear, simple, concise. And you can go from there, just saying, well, I educate people about a cellular regeneration technology product known as redox signaling molecules. And their main job is to go and find damaged cells anywhere in the body and signal the immune system to go out and find those damaged cells and start repairing and replacing them with healthy new cells. So it allows your body to heal itself. So I always try to bring samples as well in case someone there has discomfort. But if you don't, I would just try to connect with 2 to 3 people at least that match your energy, and just try to do one-to-ones with them, really get to know them on a more personal note, because that's really networking. A party or a networking event is going to be hard because there's that many people. So you really want to book like 2 to 3 appointments from that with people that you can really connect with. So that's my 2 cents. Amy, would you like to say anything else?
No, I think that's good. The thing is that the gel, unless you have if you bring in the big gel and you get a chance to demonstrate, then you can give the small gel. If you just give the small gel without doing a demonstration, a lot of times when they get something free, they don't really appreciate it as much. we have given free gels and not much came back unless they have an issue and they experience it there and then they go back and continue to use, then they want more of that. So unless you get a chance to demonstrate, don't just give the gel away.
I always demonstrate when I'm on the one-to-one. I'll ask
Yeah.
them, does anything hurt? And then I'll just
If,
have them.
if you have enough Renew 28, like a couple of tubes, you could finish your presentation with just saying, anyone that has any kind of discomfort, come see me after, and it'll be gone in 10 minutes or whatever you want to say in that area.
Yeah.
And it's an easy claim to make because it does work that way.
Good.
Any other questions? Well, good to see you all on here. Rosie, you're laughing at something. Oh, man. Mom is skedaddling through the airport right now.
Hey, Jackie, maybe could I just get you to clarify a testimony that you mentioned recently? And I think a lot of people would be interested in it. It's very brief. A lot of people are interested in the ability to become pregnant for people who are not or have been trying to for some time. And as I recall, you recently had a fairly new associate who had been trying for 12 years to do
Yes.
so. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. And something worked for them?
Yes. So it was my associate's new person trying to get pregnant for 12 years. She got on ASEA, and 8 weeks later, she found out now she's pregnant with twins. So that was a pretty remarkable testimonial.
Mhm.
Is she on fertility supplements or something like that?
I'm not sure. That's all Danielle told me. But I mean, I'm sure she probably would have tried everything, I would think, for 12 years. But I don't know 100%.
So both of them are taking, husband and wife.
ASEA,
Yes.
as long as I know, just her right now.
Hmm.
I'm not sure though. Again, that's all I heard.
I know my niece was taking and wasn't working, so I said both of you need to get on it. So they both got on it, and then she got pregnant, because sometimes it's not her,
Mhm.
it could be him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pretty cool things.
You guys are doing a great job. I got messages that nobody could get on, so I got on to see if everything was okay.
Well, sorry. Well, I had.
I will probably
got-
jump off because it's so noisy here.
It's fine. We got it
But
figured
thank you
out.
all for taking care of this. Please ask any questions. These are the superstars of the team.
Hey Debbie, why
Yes.
don't you ask Jackie a question? You have a question to ask?
I know. I texted her. I said, I hope I know all the answers. She's like, oh, Amy will be on. I was like, oh, good.
There you go.
Jackie, speaking of couples trying to get pregnant, when we were at Pinehurst, we had a guest there, group there, two, not a group, two. We had a husband and wife there with the baby. And I can't remember their names, but they gave a great testimony when they went to Pinehurst. Maybe Ed Weems knows the contact there, and we could use them as a referral. Because I have a doctor who's trying to get pregnant with his wife, and they haven't had much success. So that'd be good to have a testimony.
Have
Absolutely.
they
think-
started on ASEA?
I
Yeah. With
think there's
ASEA. Yeah.
Quite a few
It
mentions
was-
of it in ASEA Healthy Self, the Facebook group.
I haven't checked that one.
I mean, I don't have a specific one to go to, but I've heard of quite a few people who were either trying and couldn't, or In any case, the baby's very, very healthy, and they attribute it to
Hmm.
CFCA.
Jackie,
Well,
do
there's
you
one.
know in your case how much they are taking?
I don't know.
I think just 4 ounces a day.
It varies from person to person. So if they are not pregnant with 4 ounces, then they need to go 8 ounces. If it's not happening, then they need to increase because whatever it is, it has not detected the issue yet.
Very true. What is the couple's age group? For who got pregnant? She didn't tell me her age. Danielle, though, I mean, is in her 40s, so it was a friend of hers, so I assume around 40. I can ask though.
As long as they can still they are not in menopause, they can get
Yeah,
pregnant.
I was like, I don't know.
Well, the person at Pinehurst, they had an adopted child, and then she got pregnant after they had already adopted. Okay, I think was what that story was, but I think she was 40 or 42 as well when she got pregnant. So,
But I talked to them later and they both said that they were doing ASEA.
Yeah.
But you were right about that. But wasn't it a good presentation?
yeah, yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah. Debbie might have their contacts. She might, she knows everybody. She
I
might have the
think
contacts. Because
we might
the
see
couple
them
did
in
agree.
Charlotte.
They did
Joyce, you
agree
think-
to give a testimony.
Yeah, you think we might see them at Charlotte?
I have no idea. I don't know who's coming to Charlotte.
Jackie,
I'll be
Jackie.
there.
Well, it's, I don't know. I don't know who's giving testimonies at Charlotte.
I don't either.
Jackie, you are speaking, right?
Correct. And I'm talking all about networking and enrolling. So I'm like an expert at networking.
Are you using technology?
I don't talk about technology in this presentation.
So you can give us a brief summary of what your topic is going to be about, since there's no question at this time. So what are you going to touch on? Maybe something which will encourage people who have not decided on Charlotte to go, so that they can get the full presentation. So just give a teaser.
A teaser? Well, the teaser was networking and enrolling. So that's where I said, I had personal experience where I didn't know anybody in Colorado. So I just went out and networked because my turning point was going to the 2017 convention. And that's where it lifted off my blinders to really know what this is and how big of an impact this really is making around the world. So I went home all excited, called up all my friends. Haha, no one joined me. No one still has joined me of my friends. So I built my business all cold market, not knowing anyone. So I got out there, of course, and joined networking groups. I think networking groups are great because you really learn how to interact with people, how to connect with people, how to build relationships, how to listen, which is vital with network marketing. And then, as Amy said, you'd listen to hot buttons that people have. So when I go to a networking group, I try to see maybe who I have a good energy with or good connection with. Maybe they aren't in the health field, something that we can relate to. And then I'll book a one-to-one with that person. And that's where the magic happens. That's where I really get to know them. And so I ask all about them first. And that's where I can usually hear if there's a hot button where a SIA might benefit their life. And then, all in-person networking. And then I go from there and see if this is of interest for them to learn more. If it is, the BAM fam, book an appointment from an appointment, never leave an appointment without booking the next. So I always, say I'm going to go home and email you the information that you were looking for. When would be a good time to follow up with you? And I'm going to follow up with, we can fill in the blank, whoever introduced it to you. So they know that it's going to be a 3-way, Zoom or phone call. And then just say, okay, great. So Thursday at 1:00 works for you for the follow-up. So I look forward to following up with you with blank. And so they know that there's a third party and so forth. And then that was the easiest part. It was that whenever I got my mom on the call, I would just be quiet and she would do all the work for me. So I love that part. And no one ever said, no, you can't follow up with me because someone else is going to be on the line.
What's the name of the, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine.
What's the name of the group that you and your mom belong to? The network.
It's a women's group. Yeah, it's a women's group called Polka Dot Powerhouse, and it's all women's group. It's international.
Yeah, I thought that might be one that Karen could connect with if it's in her area.
Absolutely. If you just Google networking groups in my area, I mean, there's so many, at least here in Colorado. And a lot of them meet virtually, on Zoom. There's a lot out there.
Polka Dot, is it?
I'm sorry?
Polka Dot?
Polka Dot Powerhouse. Yeah. And even if you typed in like all women's networking group, if you wanted an all women's group.
You find that one in person is more effective than online reaching out through.
Well,
social
I'm
media?
still figuring out social media. So the in-person worked very well for me and continues to work very well for me because they see me at who I am. And as you all know, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So it's already established because they're already meeting me right there.
Perfect.
I'll get out there and then look up the Chamber of Commerce near you. They're very entrepreneurial people that like to help other people because they're so involved with their community. Yeah, I'm going to join one pretty soon as well.
Any other questions? Or people have reached out to others and want to know what's the next step, what to say, what to do. Their experience. We always say if you have no questions, that means you've not done anything. When you go out and do things, you have questions.
You've already achieved your goals.
Okay, I'll ask a question. What's the protocol now when you sign up a new associate? What's the next step?
Well, for me, I do the 10-step checklist. There's one on Alan Noble's website, and/or Tammy, I got mine from Tammy Gates and just kind of redid it as my own kind of thing. But that's what I do, the 10-step checklist. I can put it in a See United right after this call, my version. So I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Okay. All right, well, we can end it early. I don't know how long Mom goes for. So.
Yeah, I think it's between 30 to 45 minutes. If there's no questions, we can let people go early and come back next week with more questions.
Absolutely. Okay, and then I'll send this recording to her wherever she posts it as well.
Okay.
guys.
All right.
Have a
Good
great
night,
evening.
All
everybody.
right, you too.
Thanks, Jackie.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Go
Amy.
with
Thank you,
love.
Allison. All right, you too. Thank you, Will.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good
See you
luck
guys
with getting
next week,
started,
same
Karen.
time. Yeah, Dave.
I just said good luck with getting started, Karen.
Yes, Karen, maybe next week you can come and report to us what has been your experience and success.
Absolutely.
Show your husband how wrong he is.
Yep. Prove him wrong.
Yeah, you need to prove him wrong.
Yeah, just remember when you're starting any new endeavor, and people go to school for years to learn how to do a new profession. This is new, probably. I mean, unless you're a very seasoned network marketer, there's skills to learn and there's just experience to gather. So allow yourself that chance. Just keep moving forward. And if you stumble or if you're not seeing results, just keep moving forward. Sometimes you gotta kick the cream until it becomes butter.
Good analogy. Kick the cream until it becomes butter.
So
It's a
butter
solid
up.
thing,
Just
and you
keep
can
kicking.
try that wherever.
Or kick the can until something pops out. Yeah.
Yeah. And if your leg, your foot is sore, you can apply Renew, that's all.
There you go.
So either way, you are going to get volume. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I know.
Bye-bye.